A warm welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Do not forget to subscribe. So I've restocked on my favourite tar and glue remover, which is AutoSmart Tardis, and this was the winner of my best tar and glue remover that we did many years ago. It's a product I've used a lot, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this particular video. First of all, the basics. This 5 litres jerry can metal thing costs me 33 quid. If you buy this from an AutoSmart franchisee delivery kind of to your unit or whatever, it's probably going to be cheaper. So that's one of the downsides with AutoSmart. They're very much a professional valeting and detailer line, but it's more accessible to get it now. So what does this product do? It removes tar, so can be used if you've got heavy tar films on your car, or you've got, like, you know, asphalt chunks and chunks of tar in your wheels. But typically tar film, you know, is what I'll use it for. It can be used as a precursor to decontamination. So all that brown tar you scrape off with clay, this can effectively dissolve it off of the panel, soften it, make your claying easier and more effective, and pulling less contamination off, dragging it over the paint's quite a good thing. Highly effective, fast-acting formulation. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Emulsifies with water for easy rinsing. Very important, actually. That's a real big plus for me, because it's hydrocarbon. A lot of these are kind of hydrocarbon based, and hydrocarbon, normally if you wipe over hydrocarbon, it's a slower flash to come off the car, and the car will be all repellent when it's got the hydrocarbon film over it. But because it's got emulsifiers, if you wash the car, you wanted to apply this, you would towel it off quickly so that it's not covered in water. You would apply it, you can spray it onto a panel, you can soak out a cloth with it, but you would wipe the TARDIS material over a section of it at a time, so you've got like a wet film. If you see any little dots of tar like you commonly get here, you could dab away at them a little bit more, wet them out with the TARDIS a little bit, and it will break them down very rapidly, and then you could flip the cloth and buff it, that sort of thing. You can spray it onto the panel. Now, ensure surface is dry, spray, brush or wipe on, agitate and then rinse off. Caution, TARDIS may soften solvent sensitive plastics and paints. If in doubt, test it before you use it. All those instructions, that's all French, and this is all health and safety. That's all your instructions. Very, very good though. I love AutoSmart, the way they write their product instructions. I always just read it and think, yeah, brilliant. You've just told me everything I need to know about this product. Where was I going? Where was I? Yes, the sensitivity thing. So be careful. So what I wouldn't do if I was removing tar off of this wing is spray it all over this wing, because there's plastic down there and it will dwell on that plastic and the rubber seal around that light, and it could degrade it. And, you know, some plastics are a bit more tolerant to it and it won't do anything. Can depend how long you leave it on that surface, but generally you have to target this on the paintwork or the area. You know, you can use it on glass or the wheels. Target on that area, get it on to dissolve the tar, wipe it off. So you could do that around your whole car, but then you could go and rinse the car as well and wash off the hydrocarbon film. If you don't wash it up, it'll eventually vape off, but you can wipe it and leave it to vape, or typically it can be good to wash the car, especially I think if you're then going on to clay or polish, you know, a rinse off is a really good option. Like I say, you don't have to, and there's lots of times where I haven't. So it's very quick. You'll notice it compared to other tar and glue removers that it just melts it. It takes the hard work out of doing this. I'm going to give you a market alternative. If you want something which is less sensitive on surfaces, rubbers and stuff like that, less industrial, because this is a heavy hydrocarbon, it's flammable, it's a very industrial kind of product, and some of you know, might want something a bit easier. There's an Auto Valet one, which is a tar and glue remover, which is citrus based, a little bit milder, takes longer, but safer. So I'm giving you some market alternatives. The other thing with TARDIS is if you ever get any adhesive, you're peeling off stickers and you've got horrible thick adhesive, it cuts through it quicker than other hydrocarbons. When I did my seals. So I took all this glass out, took the old seal out, and it's gunked in glue under there. And I started using a couple of other milder solvents because I was worried about scrubbing away on the paint with all these milder solvents, with a heavy solvent. They just weren't effective. And then I reached for the TARDIS and it just melts and turned all that glue into like bogey. And then I could scrape it off with a plastic non-marring tool. And I remember masking up there as well and doing it all properly. And it just worked. It's such a good tool for doing what you want effectively, but the downside is it is very industrial. It's less consumer based. The price of it is also really reasonable, I think, for 5 litres of this. This will last me 5 years. It would last a professional detailer. A jerry can might last 6 months to a year, depending on how much you're doing, you know, how much you're using it. But this lasts me for such a long time. It doesn't spoil. I'll store that away in the cupboard so it's not in heat. I decant it into this IK Trigger bottle for solvents, the white one, and it doesn't degrade this bottle, and the bottle will be fine, which is good. Now I just want to demo use of it. So over here I have what you can probably just about see is a tar film, and it probably doesn't look too severe, but that's much more of a tar film than you'll ever encounter from tar buildup. So that's actually quite a heavy tar film. And I'm using not a brand new spanking microfiber cloth, but if you're working on really nice minted paintwork, for example, you would use a fresh cloth, but you will be pulling up loads of tar into this. I could spray it onto the panel. And you can see here, the reason I like this, and this tar film has now hardened off, is just how easy, look at it, it's just so strong. It's just so strong. So you imagine going over a car and doing that. So we've just done that. And then you'd flip, see all the tar that's been pulled up. So you then just flip and just buff it, and away you would go. And you could, like I say, that will vape off, but you could then wash the panel if you wanted to. You could spray it onto a car panel, being mindful of where it's going and staying away from the rubbers. Let it dwell there, and then you could rinse off, but that contact with something like a microfiber towel, wash mitt isn't going to be ideal because you're going to put all that tar in the wash mitt. But then contact with the microfiber towel and rinse off is an option. But we've already covered that. Why I keep coming back to this product, I kind of have already covered. It's just fast acting, it's powerful. And if you use it as instructed, it's safe. It's just I want to get that point across that this is a very industrial product. When I'm decanting it and mixing it into the thing, that the vapors coming off of it are very strong, you know, because it's a full-on hydrocarbon product that is just designed to melt tar and glues that are, you know, not super glue is a different kettle of fish, but glues that can be emulsified by, oh, not emulsified, dissolved by hydrocarbon, which is a lot of those kind of gummy glues and contact adhesives and all that sort of glue that are often used all the time, sticker labels, you know, all that sort of stuff. It is, for me, the most effective one I've used. When I ran out of it, I've been using the Koch Chemie EU, which is also very powerful, but I actually find that Koch Chemie EU was too powerful, and even more, you have to be even more careful with it on plastics and rubber than the TARDIS. The TARDIS, yeah, I remember when I did kind of safety tests with it in that video, in the best of series. On paper, you need to be careful with it, but it's not too bad. I don't think I've ever encountered a problem with it doing anything bad, but I know it could be, because just from what's in it and like what it is. So you need to be, you know, you need to be careful of it. That for me is the market leading tar and glue remover, and that's right up my alley. That is that type of product. It's right up my alley. It's just, it makes the job quick and easy. You do have the options of using milder ones there, but yeah, I don't know why. It's just so effective. It really is, and even when you get those chunks, I remember using tar and glue remover that I'd had, and it dissolves tar, and you can see it goes on it. It starts breaking it down. You're rubbing it with a microfiber, and you sort of get a bit more on the cloth, and you go again, and you rub it on the microfiber, and you go again, and it's like hard work. Even though it's working, it's slower. It's not as aggressive. But then when you get the Tardis on the same spot, you get it wet with the thing, and it just melts it straight off. It's so good. So, so well formulated. So there we go. That's all you need to know about Tardis. Is there anything else you need to know about it? Not really. Let me know your favourite tar and glue remover. Are you too concerned to use something like this, which is kind of an industrial, kind of more trade orientated product, or do you just wade in and use it? Very important, I think. Very important to just be aware. You can see all the health and safety signs on there. It's all strong stuff. So, but I think once you're aware of what it is, why it's like that, and how to use it, there's not too much that can go wrong. Phenomenal product. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to the Forensics Detailing channel. I will be doing a video very soon, actually. It's been requested a fair old amount. It's one that we've covered before, covering the subject of, you know, John, if I just need to go and get a load of chemicals to clean my car, I just want to get a range of all the best stuff that you use. Maybe not. Yeah, I suppose it is the stuff I use, isn't it? You know, like the stuff that's all in my containers that gives me everything. From what you've learned over the last kind of 10 years of looking at virtually everything in every category, what is that set of chemicals? Because you know, your fundamental list of chemicals that you can go and buy, I mean, perhaps higher, slightly larger quantities, you know, in jerry cans, although you don't need them all. Some of the essential chemicals you might only have a litre to mix out or something. We'll go through all that, and abrasives and everything you need from end to end to have a really good setup to literally cope with any detailing problem that you could get. And I can't remember the last time I didn't have a chemical to hand to fix a problem that I've encountered on cars. I've got the lot. And I've got everything I need, and I believe I've got like some of the top kind of products on the market from a big investment of time trying to figure all of that out. So we'll do that video soon. So if you're interested in all that, subscribe, and that will be a really interesting piece of video footage. Brain's shutting down, third video of the day. Always does. Over and out. Doug.